So give me a sense of the investments that you're sort of now trying to calibrate as to which have the greatest opportunities. Because it's my sense is that the data centres, the chip makers, they're effectively just building the infrastructure. It's what comes off the back of that. That's where the genuine advancements come from in the future. That's where, if you like, the genuine money is going to be made, regardless of what sort of a clawback we get right now.
Yeah, I mean, and for those, specifically around that question, right? The obvious and the sensible way to play it, and it's one of the ways that we play it very, carefully and on an ongoing basis. We own Microsoft, we own Google, and we own Amazon, and we own those companies for their position as hyperscalers serving businesses and consumers, and people don't even necessarily know that they're using the cloud when they're watching Netflix. Why would they? But they're using those businesses to serve AI. And so the point about it is those are the businesses that wholesale will be buyers of AI. And that's one of the ways that we are playing it through the Microsofts, the Googles and the Amazons, because they're the principal, as it were, servers of the AI services.
So you are an active funds manager. You try and pick these opportunities, see where they might last, see where there might be some value for the longer term. But a lot of people play it differently. They simply go and buy the exchange-traded funds for the NASDAQ composite or whatever it might be. So if there is a flyer that is unexpected, they pick up a little taste of that. The problem is when markets reverse as they are now, they also pick up the downside.
Well, that is correct. But we're an ETF, we're an exchange-traded fund ourselves. So this, correction has resulted in a 5-6% reduction in the value of our shares. We're not bleeding out here, far from it. It's just we're a diversified fund as well and we're trading as an ETF, and our unit price on the ASX, on the stock exchange, has come back, as it were, in the last 3 weeks from 580 to 540. I mean, it's not great, but it's hardly calamitous.
And so the reality is, are you still finding people wanting to put capital in? That's the key to these things, isn't it? Because, of course, if there's capital coming through the door, you've got to expend that capital. You've got to find these opportunities.
People have been hanging back on the sideline for months, waiting for a moment when they think it's going to pull back. I know we've got daily inflow coming from investors that are saying, oh, here's my moment. It's come back 5, 6, 7%. Now I have a chance to get in. We see those flows on a daily basis, and we're not surprised by it. And as you say, those inflows we must deploy into the companies that we talked about.
The thing that also got me about Jensen Huang, and it gets me when you hear Elon Musk speak or some of the other chief executives of the big tech companies, the far-sightedness with which these executives are thinking right now. They're playing a game that is almost many decades into the future for where they think their technology will change the face of the earth. I think that's one of the things that really gets me listening to Jensen Huang this week.
That's 100% right. Nobody had heard of a large language model. People understood that machine learning was all around us 5 years ago. We first bought NVIDIA ourselves, Loftus Peak Fund. We first bought it in 2016 at an adjusted price of 75 cents. It was obvious that there was a whole lot of machine learning going on. The large language model that was developed over the course of 2020, 21, 22, we were watching where that was going. And it was quite, what it is, the large language model is it's a probabilistic thing that, based on everything that's happened before, what they call the training, predicts, as it were, the next word that will happen. And the example I give sometimes is, that sentence they use to train you at school to write properly, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy. You punch that into AI and 99% of the time it'll come out with the word fox at the end of it, because that phrase, quick brown fox jumps over the dog jumps over the lazy fox, has every letter in the alphabet, and that was what was used to teach school children how to form every letter. So all that the AI is something that predictively says, these are the things that happened before. The most likely word that happens now is the word fox, based on everything that I have learned from my training. It's simple in a way, but the maths is stupendously complex. But the underlying principle is not difficult.
I'll tell you what, it's always fabulous to talk to you about these things. Alex Pollock, the Chief Executive of Loftus Peak, many thanks for your time today.
Thanks, Ross. It's been a pleasure.